Welcome to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, brought to you by Pilma. This podcast helps lead lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Here is your legal marketing expert and host, Ken Hardison.
Hello, everyone. This is Ken Hardison, and welcome to another episode of Grow Your Law Firm. And today we have Hamid Kohan with LegalSoft. And this is your second time on, man. Thank you for coming back.
Absolutely. Great to be here. And thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. And he's the president founder of LegalSoft. And I'll let you tell them about what LegalSoft is, because I think you'll do a lot better job than I will.
Absolutely, Ken. Thank you at that. Well, LegalSoft, we are a one-stop solution how to grow to your law firm, which is what this podcast is about. So we provide the full range of the services, and I hate to call it the marketing because we help law firms actually grow, and the marketing is an understatement about what we do. But part of it is how to grow your law firm. We utilizing a variety of different resources, case generation resources, automations. Virtual staffing is a big part of our business, which is the staffing is the hugest part of the pain point for growth. And being availability of the resources, affordability, and the commitment has been a problem. So we have 7 offices globally in Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and Philippines, and a few others, where we recruit, train, and deploy legal staff into law firms, full-time, dedicated, that is managed by LegalSoft. So it is anywhere from your intake staff, case managers, paralegals, demand writers, lien negotiators, all types, and they're very affordable. It's anything from $2,000 to $2,800 full-time staff. And that enabled a lot of law firms who were hesitant for the growth because they had a limitation of local resources, both in availability and the cost and the commitment. Like when we say, nobody wants to come to the office 40 hours a week or plus and come in the morning, and they're all negotiating days, and they're expensive and a lot of benefit costs. So ours is a fixed cost, and that's what makes it very affordable. On the other side, we do a lot of technology implementations for social media presence, like the entire marketing practice growth of the entire law firm, that they would have to hire 2 or 3 staff, cost from $10,000 to $15,000 a month. We do the entire service for less than $3,000 a month. And that includes social media, website maintenance, client retention, clients reviews, client surveys, case generation. All of that is combined for less than $3,000. So it's very affordable. So how do we scale it is using all of this, thinking outside the box and the different ways to grow a law firm, both from online presence, case generations, automations in technology, and the virtual staffing. That's why I call it a one-stop shop, because we do the entire thing in a cost-effective manner. We work with about 650 law firms nationwide. We add about 100 new ones a month. Our company is about 200 people. And we cover all practice areas.
Great. Man, how long ago has it been since you started this?
About 7 years ago. That's
really
when I started from coaching and masterminding, and then I figured out there's a lot more work than me just telling people what to do and how to do it. And honestly, a lot of people wanted somebody to do it for them because they do. That's the big deal. Any business person, they want it done for them. Yeah. I tell you, and I've stayed away from that, and I've lost a lot of money doing that. But one of my problems, and I want to know how you deal with this, is you can actually do it for them, get the case leads and all this stuff. But if their intake department's terrible, or they don't know how to close a case, then they blame the vendor. They blame the person that's getting them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that so many times over the years. I'm glad you brought it up, because that's always been the pain point for me also, is that the first thing that I come into the practice when I used to do a lot of the consultations or coaching or whatever, I said this my shitty lead providers provide me all these shitty leads, and it's costing me a lot of money. I hate them. I blah 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 blah. And I start digging in, and I come back and basically say, it's not their shitty lead, it's your shitty intake. That, they actually, the leads they're providing is not bad, but you think just because you paid, you're going to get a client. That doesn't work like that. You pay to get a potential client. Is your job to convert that potential client to actual client.
Yeah.
Right? But it goes back to the entitlements or whatever it is, because they think they're buying a case. They're not. First of all, it's not legal. Second of all, you're not, and nobody's selling it to you. So you're buying a bunch of potentials, and then the average conversion rate, like in PI or employment or those cases, are about 4% on the good days, right? So you're going to get 100 leads that this lead generation company poorly they provided it. You're going to go through 95, like you call it, shitty leads to get your 5. But when you get your 5, is a good ROI. But they don't think that. They think they get 5 leads, and the 5 leads goes to 5 clients. That doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So when we do to fix this, we built a 24/7 dedicated bilingual intake staff for the firms before we start them on any kind of a lead generation program. So I'm saying that if you're spending $25,000 to $50,000 a month on lead generation, I'm not helping you at all unless you have the intake team that is 24/7 tracked, monitored with technologies to convert those leads to the cases. Otherwise, you might as well just go to Vegas and lose your money, because it's equal. You have a better chance in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. We were, I just got off a Q&A with some of my members, and a guy was asking me about CallRail. And I said, yes, you should have CallRail.
But that's the small part of it too. We have things like CallRail, and we have a lead activation system. We have automated lead response system. We do a sequence of text, calls, emails that goes out. That's the technology part. That's the must. But on top of that, we have a dedicated intake staff that engage with the client, send the retainer, get the retainer back. And if you don't have that entire system, don't waste your money generating leads.
Yeah, I agree. So you recently, I don't know when we're going to be airing this, but back in May, about 2 weeks ago, because this is the end of May, you spoke at our PILM event, and you were a big hit. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. It was a great summit.
Yeah, I thought it was one of our better ones. Not because of me, but because we had some really good speakers, some really good content.
You had good attendees. They were very engaged. That was one of the impressive parts with your summit, that the people who came in there not to waste time, to actually learn something, contribute, and collaborate. That was the impressive part for me. I go to at least 2 conferences a month. So we cover about 24 to 30 conferences a year. And it's very refreshing to find out the people who come to the conference, they spend the time and the money, they actually want to get something out of it. They pay attention, they engage, they take notes. And that was great on your summit.
Thank you. So we talked a little bit about before we started here today, and you wanted to talk a little bit about what you learned from the PILMA Super Summit down in New Orleans.
Sure. So, there was a lot of talks about ChatGPT and AI and how it's going to impact and so forth. And my analogy, when I summarized all of those on my talk, which was the end of that sessions, it was that everybody needs to take the AI very seriously about any kind of a practice they're in, because there is going to be an impact. And if they think AI is ChatGPT, they're wrong. ChatGPT is not AI. I mean, it's AI, but it's just a small part, very small part. I did the analogy about that. It's like when I started my high-tech career in Silicon Valley in early 80s, when we came with internet, it was a big thing. Well, we got internet. What that meant is that our computers and servers in Silicon Valley would connect to this other computer and servers all over the world. That was internet. And we thought, wow. That was the ChatGPT. On the internet, when the .com era came about and used the internet as a backbone to provide a lot of product and services, billions of it, then that was like internet, real internet. So before that was just a pipe. Now what we connected to the pipe, which was the .coms, was what made it happen. Yeah. AI today is that. ChatGPT is that pipe. Now, what's going to come out of it is going to be incredible, because there's going to be like not just a demand AI, OpenAI. OpenAI is not going to be the only one. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, everybody is now going to be generating AI platforms to build on, not to make it a service, but build on top of it. So there is going to be hundreds of thousands of developers worldwide creating specific applications and front ends that uses all AI platforms of data and technologies to provide a specific service. So now you take that and you take it to the legal. Legal, I just told you I just released a book in Amazon, How to Scale Your AI Law Firm. It explains, just in the beginning, is about 150 platforms that I specified in my book that helps the law firm in operations, marketing, discoveries, demand generations, all of that stuff. So it's going to take a huge move very quickly, and it's going to impact every law firm. I don't care if they're doing a B2C or a B2B, they're doing, contingencies or whatever, is everybody going to get impacted.
Yeah. And it's not just the marketing. I mean, it's going to be as far as the actual management and procedures and work product.
Even all the way to trial preparation and litigation. Just before this talk, one of the reasons I was a few minutes late, because I was having a webinar with a very high-level litigator that does a B2B litigation, not even like a contingency, complete corporate litigations and so forth. And we were talking about how this is going to impact litigation, trial preparation, depositions, mediations, all the way to jury selections in the court. You're basically going to push buttons, and the button is going to tell you every related information to your case, go back 100 years, like a LexisNexis environment, but 10x of LexisNexis. Imagine you have an army sitting on LexisNexis and 5 other platforms like them, retrieving information, summarizing it, and tying it down to the case that you're going to go to trial with. Imagine that, doing that with one button. So now you have amazing discovery that nobody's ever dreamed of. And then it tells you, when you go to court, this is the type of jury you want to select. This is the one you want to question, and this is the ones you want to eliminate. And this is the key words to use within your open statement, closing statement, questions. So basically, it's just going to instruct you how to do from discovery all the way to verdict in the most efficient, intelligent way. The AI is going to get there, and it's going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like having all these word plugins. I mean, all these little platforms, all these little things that you can use and build on top of, and all these companies that are going to create things from all these open air platforms and everything.
Right.
And I'm not a techie like you are, Hamid, but I know enough to know that, I saw what happened with the internet, like you were saying, and now all these, well, we got a plugin that'll do this, we got a word plugin and it'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's, say times 100 or 10,000 times is the way it's going to be for this, in my opinion. I don't know. Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. It's just like, imagine you could right now live and operate and run a business without internet. Cut the internet at your home, on your cell phone, and the office, and see if you can survive, right? That's going to be AI times 10. So, and like all the apps you have on your cell phone, cell phone originally, when I had the original one, I could only call. That was it. There was a single function system, call, or receive a call. Now you live off of that. Your banking, your social, your family, tracking your kids, your investments, everything is on your cell phone, and if you don't have your cell phone accessible, you don't know what to do. You can't even get a ride home, because you don't have your Uber app on it. AI is going to be like that. AI is going to look like without it, you can't survive, you can't run a business. But on the other side, it needs to be heavily regulated soon before it gets dangerous.
Yeah. Well,
and that's a whole different topic of how to regulate the
that's the big scare. That's the big scare right now. Yeah. So I want to ask your question about this, because this is what I've been thinking, and I could be wrong. So you're the guy for me to ask this question to. I see if you take the AI and then combine it, because it's not going to replace everybody. It might replace some people, but 80% of people it's not going to replace. But it's going to make them a hell of a lot more productive. So if you went offshore and got somebody and then trained them how to use AI to help write demands or do medical chronologies or whatever your practice is, or putting together a bankruptcy deal or whatever petition, it seems like to me a law firm could reduce their overhead by over 50% easily. Yes. Probably 70%, but at least 50%.
Yes.
Do you see that coming?
It already came. We do that already. We use the AI right now to produce demand letters for personal injury, for workers' comp, for employment in a matter of minutes that is more comprehensive. Obviously, we have it reviewed because we don't want to do the stupid part. Just plug it in, get it, and just go.
Don't want to be like that lawyer in New York that just
exactly. That's everybody talks about right now. Yeah,
everybody talks about it. But you know what? I've said this. I still blame the lawyer, because he should have read. I always make copies of cases and read them before I go to a judge.
Of course, they got. That's why I call my book "The Stupid Law Firm," because unfortunately we got some of those. But the thing about it, the AI, you have to use it, but you have to be careful. It's like proceed with caution. Review this stuff. Have somebody review it. So I have virtual staff right now who are generating demands for hundreds of law firms automatically, inexpensively. And we have in-house attorneys who review the demands. We have in-house paralegals who review it. But it takes them, like, instead of writing a demand the whole day, they can review 100 in a day, because it's already written, they just review it. So expedites the process, reduces the cost, and they don't need to beg their paralegals and attorneys and associates to write the demands. So it gets rid of the backlog. We had a situation, one law firm had 175 backlog demands that we wiped out in 1 week, so they can have cash flow coming, no demand, no money, So that one is already in. We're doing AI on case generations right now to be able to target a specific demographic for a specific type of cases, especially class actions and mass tort. So you can do that on AI very nicely right now. We're going to referral network using AI to be able to target a specific referral networks that you can work with. So we just hired in 1 week. We already have a development team of 10. We just hired 4 AI engineers in our company just to get it started. And my AI background is longer than that, but it is coming. And is some of it is here, but there's a lot more to come, and you got to be careful. But in the same time, you got to take advantage of the opportunity of how you mentioned reduces your cost of operations, your efficiency, and expansion and scaling of your practice.
Absolutely. And I just think that's the law firm. Well, like you say, there's some already doing it, but it's probably a small percentage, but I think you're going to see more and more. I know a lot of our masterminds have really gone pretty big on offshore. I'm talking like 60-70% of their staff. They just got tired. They couldn't get people and keep them, and
that's what we specialize in, Ken. But we had to do it right. Also, when you're doing the offshore staffing, there has a pros and cons. The pros is the availability of skills. the people, their commitment and so forth. But the way we treat them is very different than other folks do, because we recruit them as like a permanent employee of the LegalSoft per se, right? So we do extensive training. We have attorneys who have developed training programs for personal injury, for employment, for workers' comp, for criminal law, all of that in the different positions. So intake staff, case managers, paralegals, we train them on case management softwares like Clio, CasePeer, FileVine. Then we do continuing education for them. We give the staff bonuses for attendance from us, that they get bonuses through us. We give them health insurance coverage. We give them computers, high-speed internet. We even go as far as to just announce that we are doing a retirement plan for this virtual staff overseas, which we don't even have it for the law firm staff in the US. We're offering it to them. So they have the longevity of staying with the firm, learning and growing. And then we have a sort of a career growth program for them. So if somebody starts as an intake staff in the law firm, we train them, the ones that are, committed and, they do work well and so forth. So we train them from the intake to become an intake manager, from intake manager to become a junior case manager, and then a case manager and a paralegal. So we do a complete career development for the virtual staff. And that's why our retention rate is over 85%, because we do that. Other places don't do that. They just basically say, Ken, here is John, lives in the Philippines. Good luck, go use them. Doesn't work. They don't last.
And the deal is, it's not just for case. I mean, you can get graphic artists, you can get video editors, you can get coders, like you were saying, people to code your website, to get backlinks, to create content.
I came across something really impressive last weekend. There was this conference in Cabo, Mexico, Gary Dordick Trial University, very name brand. I'm sure you know Gary.
Yeah.
Litigation attorney, very, very reputable, only does 6-7 figure cases only, mainly 7. And he has this trial university in Cabo every year as a conference. And my team was there, and we were exhibitor, we were sponsor and all of that. We met 2 attorneys in his conference who were working for Gary Dordick. And they came to us, and there were 2 attorneys, female attorneys from Colombia. And they said, we're LegalSoft employees. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, we work for Gary. We did such a great job. He brought us to US for the conference, and we're attorneys who are doing a lot of discovery for Gary's litigation process. And he happened to have a lot more than 2, but these 2 brought in. It was very impressive that it becomes so integrated into a high-end litigation firm that the managing attorney brought him to US to help on the US event. That was very impressive.
That is absolutely good deal. All right. So anything else from the conference, or is that, that was the big deal, I thought. I think the 2 big challenges lawyers are having is help. And I think, finding good help. I think that's
right. Virtual staffing was number 1. AI was number 2. Building and managing a referral network was another third surprise for me, that people were actually a lot more engaged. When 3 or 4 years ago, I talked about referral network and how you need to have it systematically managed and all of that. They were like, no, I have these 2 buddies here that I refer cases to, and I got this other buddy that refers me a case. And I said, this is a huge revenue model. Well, what are you referring to it like, you had a drink with a buddy? That's not the case. This is a system and is expanding. So we got a lot of traction with that when we start engaging with people about, so what's your referral network like and how you manage it, how you grow it. It says, just like that, bunch of buddy system. Then we laid out how we do referral network very systematically. Like there is a firm in California that I set up a referral network for him in 10 other states outside of California because it was extremely saturated in California. So we did it a state by state, 10 state target, 3 at a time. And in each state, we set up 3 different law firms to be a referral firms for this firm. A small firm for small cases, medium firm for medium cases, and a high-end litigation firm for litigation cases. So these guys generate a lot of clients, and they refer them to these other 3 law firms in every state, and we track the relationship, the cases, progress on the cases, settlements, and fee distribution. So we set it up and manage it for him. So now he's basically practicing in 10 states.
That's wild. Yeah, I believe in systems, that's for sure. You know, I read Michael Gerber's book in 1996. It kind of changed my life, because before that I didn't know anything about processes and systems and all that stuff. It was eye-opening for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
that was the third element of the summit, the referral networks.
Cool. So, what do you see next on the horizon? I mean,
next in the horizon is, I think, we talk about AI, we talk about virtual staffing, a true virtual law practice. After all of this sort of settles in and people adopt and customize and so forth, this true virtual law practice is going to be a thing, where people don't get out of school and they just like, okay, I got to go get an office. I got to hire these people. I got to walk the walk and talk the talk and stuff. I think a lot of it's going to be just implementations of thinking outside the box to run a practice in 2 ways, completely independent, a business of law and a practicing of law. And I think both of them can be done pre-virtually, but the 85% of the practice, which is a business of law, it will be all automated, virtual, and streamlined. And no more papers around and no more room full of people trying to figure out who does what.
Right. I agree with you. So if somebody's interested in contacting you or finding out about your services or just want to chat about this AI, which you seem very, very knowledgeable, how can they get up with you?
Well, our website is legalsoft.com. Welcome to there, come there, and that's a good beginning. Or join our Instagram or Facebook. On the LegalSoft Instagram, we post a lot of informative information about technologies, methodologies, and case studies and so forth. It's not just about advertising or pushing. We believe in the real meaningful content. So if people follow us on the Instagram, they're going to get a lot of values. We just launched the LegalSoft Academy, which we're going to be putting all of our clients into one academy, where we're going to bring a lot of how-to-dos and best case studies and collaborative information into the academy, so they can join it and continuously learn more and more about what's next and collaborate between the firms who are already there and be able to build a tighter community. So legalsoft.com is the place to go.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, thank you so much. And until next time, this is Ken Hardison, dedicated to your success.
You have been listening to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, the podcast that leads lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Go to growyourlawfirm.com to find more ways to market and manage your law firm. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts.